The story begins with a dramatic scene that grabs the audience's attention right away, a massive galactic battle unfolding in the vastness of space. Explosions rip through the dark expanse, causing bright flashes of light to illuminate the sky. The ships of an alien fleet are being torn apart by the devastating firepower of the Zorathian armada. These Zorathians are not just any alien species, they're ruthless, nearly unstoppable, and their technology is far beyond anything humans have ever encountered. The way they fight is cold, efficient, and terrifying. Suddenly, the scene shifts, and we're brought to a much smaller, more humble spacecraft, the Courageous. The ship looks primitive compared to the Zorathian warships, its hull scratched and worn. It's a human-made vessel, not designed for this scale of combat, but it's moving at an impressive speed through the dark emptiness of space. The contrast between the small, vulnerable Courageous and the gigantic, menacing Zorathian fleet sets the stage for an underdog story of survival and hope. Inside the warship, we meet Captain Logan, a tall, strong, and confident leader. He's known for his quick thinking and his ability to lead his team through the toughest of situations. Logan's focus is unwavering as he stands in front of a holographic display, monitoring the battle raging around them. He's calm under pressure, but it's clear that even he knows the gravity of the situation they're about to face. The crew of the Courageous is preparing for a mission unlike any they've ever faced. They're racing against time, heading toward a distant planet where an alien species, the Vailians, have urgently called for help. The Vailians are a proud, technologically advanced race, but their civilization is on the brink of destruction. The Zorathians have turned their attention to them, and the Vailians are desperate for an alliance with humanity. As the Courageous glides through space, Logan gathers his team in the briefing room. His crew, a mix of seasoned soldiers and brilliant scientists, listens intently, but there's an air of doubt in the room. The Vailians, though advanced, have a mysterious reputation. Their telepathic abilities and strange customs make them difficult to understand, and many of Logan's team are skeptical about trusting them. After all, this could all be a trap, an elaborate scheme to lure humanity into a dangerous galactic war. But Logan remains steadfast. He's the kind of leader who inspires confidence, even when faced with uncertainty. He explains the situation clearly: if humanity doesn't help the Vailians, their entire race could be wiped out by the Zorathians. The stakes are higher than ever before, and Logan knows that humanity may be the only force capable of tipping the balance in this war. "I know it's a risk," Logan says, his voice steady. "But we're the only ones who can do this. The Vailians are counting on us, and we can't let them fall. Our survival depends on it." The crew falls silent, the weight of his words settling over them. They've faced enemies before, but nothing like the Zorathians. Their technology is far superior to anything humans have, and their ruthlessness in battle is unmatched. The Courageous is outnumbered and outgunned, but Logan believes in his team, in the unpredictable nature of human ingenuity. Just as Logan finishes his speech, the ship's communications system crackles to life, cutting through the tension in the room. The voice on the other end is urgent, almost frantic. "Captain Logan, you need to hear this. It's from the Vailians." Logan's brow furrows. He gestures for the communication to be patched through. The holographic display flickers, and a panicked alien face appears, one of the Vailians. Her eyes are wide with fear. "The Zorathians, they're already here. They've reached our system. We don't have much time." The room falls silent. Every crew member feels the chill of fear run down their spine. The Vailians were already in danger, but now it's worse than anyone imagined. The Zorathians are ahead of them, and the human crew has to make a decision, fast. Logan's pulse quickens, but he doesn't show it. He knows the weight of this moment. If they don't act quickly, it might be too late to save the Vailians, or even themselves. "We're coming," Logan says firmly, his voice cutting through the tension. "Prepare for immediate jump. We'll be there before they know it." As the crew scrambles to get the ship ready for the dangerous jump through hyperspace, Logan stands at the helm, staring out at the stars ahead. He knows this mission could be the most dangerous thing humanity has ever done. But he also knows that if they don't act now, the galaxy could fall into the hands of the Zorathians. The Courageous shifts into hyperspace, its engines roaring to life as it disappears into the vast unknown. The suspense is palpable. Will they arrive in time to help the Vailians? Or will they be too late, caught in the deadly grasp of the Zorathians before they can even make a move? The clock is ticking, and the crew's fate, and the fate of the galaxy, hangs in the balance. As the Courageous exits hyperspace and approaches the Vailian homeworld, the crew is filled with both excitement and tension. This is humanity's first real opportunity to join forces with another alien race, but the stakes could not be higher. They've come to save a civilization, but they aren't sure what to expect. The Vailians are an advanced species, far more technologically sophisticated than humans, and their telepathic abilities only add to the mystery surrounding them. The Courageous docks at a grand space station orbiting the Vailian planet. It's a beautiful sight, with structures made of shimmering metallic alloys and alien architecture that seems almost organic in nature. But the peaceful appearance of the station is deceiving, the tension in the air is palpable. The Vailians have welcomed them, but the crew can sense their hesitation. Logan and his crew are escorted through the station to a grand hall where they meet Lyra, the Vailian leader. She stands tall, radiating an aura of calm authority. Her striking beauty and intelligent eyes immediately capture Logan's attention, but it's not just her looks that stand out. There's something more about her, an unspoken power, as if her every word and gesture are laced with deeper meaning. Her telepathic nature means she's able to read their emotions, making their first interaction all the more intense. Lyra's gaze locks with Logan's, and for a moment, it's as if the entire room fades away. Their connection is immediate, and though they don't speak a word, the unspoken chemistry between them is undeniable. Logan is taken aback by the intensity of it. Something about this encounter feels different, like the fate of both their species is bound together in some inexplicable way. After a long, tense silence, Lyra speaks. Her voice is calm yet carries the weight of her people's desperate situation. "You must understand," she says, her words ringing in Logan's mind like a faint echo. "The Zorathians are unlike any enemy you've faced. They wipe out entire civilizations with no remorse. Their power is unmatched. We, the Vailians, have tried to fight them before, but our technology has made us predictable. They know our every move before we even make it. Without your help, we will all perish." Her words sink in, and Logan can see the pain in her eyes. The Vailians are a proud race, and admitting their vulnerability is not easy for them. But it's clear they are in dire need of assistance. The stakes couldn't be higher. If humanity doesn't step in, the Vailians will be lost, and the Zorathians will continue their rampage across the galaxy. Logan looks around at his crew, their faces filled with doubt and concern. They've fought battles before, but they've never faced anything like the Zorathians. Their advanced technology and ruthless tactics have left the Vailians on the brink of extinction. But Logan isn't ready to give up just yet. He knows that humanity has something that the Vailians don't, something the Zorathians won't be prepared for. He steps forward, his voice steady and confident. "We might be outmatched technologically, but we have something the Zorathians don't, unpredictability. Humans have faced challenges on Earth for centuries, from wars to natural disasters. We've learned to adapt, to think outside the box. That's what makes us dangerous. We'll fight with everything we have, and we won't be easy to predict." Lyra listens intently, her eyes narrowing as she considers his words. For the first time, a flicker of hope seems to appear in her expression. Perhaps the humans have something to offer after all. She pauses, then nods slowly. "I hope you're right, Captain Logan. We have no time to waste." As the discussion continues, Logan and Lyra work together to form a strategy. The Vailians' advanced weapons and technology might give them an edge in battle, but their rigidity and predictable nature have made them vulnerable to the Zorathians. Logan suggests a more flexible approach, one that will surprise the enemy. He knows that if they can outsmart the Zorathians, humanity's unpredictable nature could give them the upper hand. While the plan starts to take shape, Logan can't shake the feeling that this alliance with Lyra and the Vailians could change the course of the war, and possibly even the future of both species. But with the Zorathians closing in, time is running out, and every decision will have consequences. As the meeting concludes, Logan and Lyra share one last, lingering glance. The chemistry between them is undeniable, and it's clear that this partnership will go beyond just strategy. It will be tested in battle, in trust, and perhaps even in love. But for now, the fate of the galaxy rests in their hands, and there's no turning back. The real challenge is just beginning. The meeting with the Vailians and other alien races had set the stage for what would be humanity's greatest challenge yet. Despite their technological disadvantage, Logan and his team knew that they could still win by using the one thing the Zorathians would never expect: human ingenuity and unpredictability. As the various alien species, many far more advanced than humans, sat together in the war room, discussing their strategies, Logan felt out of place at first. The Vailians, with their telepathic minds and advanced technologies, and other alien races like the Krillians and Tauraks, all had their own ways of fighting, methods that were proven and predictable. It was clear that their approach to the coming war was calculated and precise. Everything they did was based on logic and patterns, traits that had helped them dominate in the past. But Logan wasn't interested in playing by the rules. He knew that the only way to win against the Zorathians was to think outside the box. Humans didn't have the same advanced weapons or sophisticated technology as the other races, but they had something else: a natural ability to adapt, improvise, and find creative solutions to problems. Logan gathered his team in a secure room aboard the Courageous, preparing for a critical test. He was about to show the Vailians and the other alien species how humanity could turn its limitations into advantages. The plan was simple but risky: use Earth's natural resources and rudimentary technology in ways no one had ever imagined. Logan's first demonstration involved cloaking devices, which, though far from perfect, had been a feature of human military technology for years. Unlike the sleek, flawless cloaks the Vailians and other species used, human cloaks were unreliable and patchy. But Logan had a trick up his sleeve. He combined the cloaking tech with Earth's primitive jamming systems, creating a stealth field that could be activated and deactivated at will, confusing enemy sensors and preventing them from locking onto human ships. To demonstrate their strategy, Logan's crew took part in a simulated battle with the Vailians and other alien commanders, who had far superior ships and technology. The simulation was set up in a vast virtual space, and the goal was to outmaneuver the enemy and gain control of key positions. As the battle began, the human ships, cloaked and weaving in and out of visibility, struck fast and unpredictably. At first, the aliens struggled to react. The Vailians' flawless strategies became useless against the chaos the humans brought. At one heart-stopping moment, Logan's ship, Courageous, appeared out of nowhere, launching a surprise attack on a Vailian command ship. The Vailian fleet had been expecting a direct assault, but Logan's clever use of the stealth system caught them off guard. The human ships moved unpredictably, using the environment to their advantage, and for the first time, the alien commanders were forced to change their strategies. The reaction was immediate. The alien commanders were stunned, watching as Logan's team used a mix of Earth's old-fashioned tactics, feints, diversions, and surprise strikes, to outmaneuver them at every turn. Logan's ingenuity and the human ability to adapt had given them the edge. The Vailians' commanders, once so confident in their technological superiority, were now looking at humanity in a new light. The unpredictability of humans had won the day, and for the first time, the aliens began to see what humans could bring to the table. But the battle wasn't over yet. The Corathians, a powerful and warlike race known for their brutal tactics, had arrived to observe the demonstration. Initially, they were hostile, sizing up the humans with cold, calculating eyes. They were skeptical of humans, thinking them weak and unworthy of joining the alliance. But as they witnessed Logan's tactics in action, their opinion began to shift. The Korathians were impressed by the humans' boldness and creativity. In a tense meeting shortly after the battle, the Korathian leader approached Logan. "We've seen your tactics," he said in a deep, gravelly voice. "You humans are unpredictable, and that is a strength we don't have. We've fought battles for centuries, and we never considered that there could be a strategy beyond brute force and calculated precision. We would be honored to join your alliance and learn from you." Logan's heart raced as the Korathian leader extended a hand in alliance. It was a powerful moment. Humans, once thought of as weak and unworthy, were now being sought after by some of the most formidable races in the galaxy. It was a testament to the fact that unpredictability, creativity, and the human spirit could turn the tide of a war. As Logan looked around at his team, they knew this was only the beginning. Their greatest battle was still ahead, and the Zorathians wouldn't be caught off guard so easily. But for the first time, the humans had proven that they were more than just survivors, they were warriors in their own right, and the galaxy was beginning to realize that the air was thick with tension as news of the Zorathian assault reached the Alliance. The peaceful planet of Teleris, an ally of humanity, had been hit with a ruthless, devastating attack. In a matter of moments, millions of lives were snuffed out, and the once thriving world was reduced to rubble. The Zorathians had struck with their trademark speed and efficiency, unleashing destruction that sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Their sheer power was unmatched, and it seemed as though nothing could stand in their way. But the humans were not going to sit idly by. Logan, their fearless leader, stood tall in the face of disaster, refusing to let the Zorathians' brutality go unchallenged. He had witnessed the death and destruction firsthand, and his anger burned hotter than ever. The message was clear: humanity would fight back. They would not back down, no matter how overwhelming the odds were. The human-led alliance, now a formidable force consisting of Vailians, Korathians, and several other species, rallied together. The Vailians, once unsure of the humans' tactics, now trusted in their unpredictability. The Korathians, grizzled and battle-hardened, had seen the humans' courage firsthand and were ready to follow Logan's lead into the heart of the battle. Every species in the alliance had their own strengths, but it was humanity's resourcefulness and relentless spirit that would drive them forward. Logan gathered his team in the command center of the Courageous. "This is it. We've trained for this moment. We've proven we can survive. Now, we fight for the people we've lost," he said, his voice steady but filled with an unshakable resolve. "Follow my lead, and we'll show the Zorathians that the galaxy is not theirs to conquer." The counterattack was launched without hesitation. The human fleet, along with their alien allies, moved into position, ready to face the full might of the Zorathian forces. What followed was a battle unlike any the galaxy had seen before. In space, the stars themselves seemed to tremble as the massive Zorathian warships unleashed their fury, sending shockwaves across the cosmos. The human fleet, though vastly outnumbered, was determined to strike back. Logan's strategy was simple but brilliant. Using their knowledge of the enemy's tactics and their own ability to adapt, the humans launched lightning-fast strikes, hitting the Zorathian ships where they least expected it. The Vailians provided support with their powerful energy weapons, while the Korathians engaged in brutal, close-quarters combat, boarding Zorathian vessels and tearing them apart from within. On the ground, the fight was just as intense. The Zorathians had begun an assault on the last surviving human colony on Teleris, and Logan knew they couldn't let them succeed. Leading his team through the rubble, Logan fought side by side with his soldiers, rallying them even when all seemed lost. Every step was grueling, every move calculated for survival. But Logan's leadership, his determination to protect humanity in their allies, pushed them all to keep fighting. The Zorathian strength was undeniable. They were an unstoppable force, with weapons capable of destroying entire fleets in seconds. Their ships were massive, their technology advanced beyond anything the Alliance could dream of. Yet, it was their predictability that would be their downfall. Logan had learned from their earlier tactics, and he used that knowledge to create chaos in their ranks. The humans and their allies used unconventional weapons, unexpected maneuvers, and guerrilla tactics, turning the battlefield into a war zone of confusion for the Zorathians. As the battle raged on, the Zorathians began to falter. Their overwhelming numbers were no match for humanity's ingenuity. The Vailians and Korathians, watching the humans fight with such ferocity and determination, began to follow Logan's lead, adopting his tactics and showing a newfound respect for the humans. With each passing minute, the Zorathian forces were pushed back. Logan's command was precise, his orders clear. Even when the odds seemed impossible, humanity's unyielding spirit continued to drive them forward. They may have been the underdogs, but they weren't about to let the galaxy's most fearsome race crush them. Finally, after hours of grueling combat, the Zorathians began to retreat. The human alliance had dealt a crushing blow to their forces, and the Zorathians were forced to abandon their assault. Logan's heart raced as he stood on the battlefield, watching the Zorathian ships disappear into the distance. But the victory wasn't just about defeating the Zorathians. It was about proving something even more important: humanity, despite its flaws and limitations, had the strength to stand against the universe's most powerful forces. Logan's leadership had inspired his team, and together, they had shown the galaxy that humans were not to be underestimated. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. The Zorathians would return, and the Alliance would be ready. For now, though, humanity had taken its first true step toward proving its worth in the galaxy. And Logan knew that as long as they fought together, they could overcome any challenge the universe threw their way. The final battle had arrived, and it was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Logan and his team, together with their allies, had spent weeks preparing for this moment. The boldest plan was set into motion: a surprise attack on the Zorathian flagship, their most powerful ship. The humans had already proven their unpredictability in battle, but this plan would push them to their limits. The Zorathian flagship was a massive, intimidating vessel, floating like a dark titan in space. It was heavily guarded and bristling with weapons, but Logan's team had something the Zorathians didn't: innovation. Using the cloaking technology they had perfected, the humans slipped past the enemy's radar, their ship invisible in the vastness of space. The surprise element was their greatest weapon, and they were about to use it to full effect. As Logan and his team boarded the Zorathian flagship, the air was thick with tension. They moved quickly, their mission clear: infiltrate the ship, sabotage its systems, and bring down the Zorathian leader once and for all. But the Zorathians were not going to let them get away easily. Almost immediately, they were engaged in close-quarters combat with the enemy forces. The battle was fierce, with explosions rocking the ship and blinding flashes of light lighting up the corridors. Each step was a fight for survival, but Logan's team was determined. They were the underdogs, and this was their moment. In the heat of the battle, there was a heartbreaking moment that would change everything. Bonner, Logan's loyal second-in-command, fought bravely alongside him. But in an unexpected turn, Bonner realized the team was about to be overwhelmed. To save them all, he made the ultimate sacrifice. Bonner charged forward, drawing the Zorathians' attention to himself, allowing Logan and the others to escape to safety. In an instant, Bonner was gone, his life extinguished in the name of the mission. The team was devastated, but his selflessness gave them the final push they needed. His sacrifice became their motivation, fueling their anger and determination. They could not let his death be in vain. The battle was no longer just about strategy, it was about honoring Bonner's legacy and fighting for their fallen comrades. Logan and his team reached the heart of the flagship, where the Zorathian leader waited. A fierce and brutal fight ensued. The Zorathian leader was a formidable opponent, a towering figure of power and menace. But Logan, though exhausted and filled with grief, wasn't about to back down. Using his quick thinking and human ingenuity, he outsmarted the Zorathian leader. Logan's mind raced, thinking of a way to exploit the Zorathians' arrogance and predictability. He used their own weapons against them, turning the tide of the battle in one final, devastating move. The Zorathian leader fell, and with that, the Zorathians were defeated. It was an overwhelming victory for humanity and their allies, but it came at a high cost. The Zorathians' empire crumbled, and for the first time in galactic history, the once feared alien species were no longer a threat. As the battle ended, the galaxy was forever changed. The victory marked a turning point. Alien species who had once looked down on humanity now sought alliances with them. The Vailians, Korathians, and many other species now recognized humans as the true leaders of the galaxy. They had not only survived, they had triumphed, and in doing so, they had proven their worth. Humanity's unpredictability, courage, and ability to adapt had earned them the respect of every alien species. In the aftermath of the battle, Logan stood on the Bridge of the Courageous, looking out at the stars. The victory was bittersweet. The galaxy was safe, but at what cost? He thought of Bonner, of all the lives lost in the fight. The war was over, but the scars it left would remain forever. As Logan looked up, Lyra, the Vailian leader, approached. Her presence was calming, and for a moment, the weight of the galaxy seemed to lift. "I never doubted humanity," Lyra said quietly, her voice soft yet filled with admiration. "But this was something else." Logan nodded, his eyes distant. "We fought for what was right. We've earned their respect. But we've lost so much." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder, offering a moment of solace. "You've changed the galaxy. You've changed everything. Your people have proven that, sometimes, the greatest strength is in the unexpected." As they stood together, gazing at the stars, it was clear that the future was uncertain, but it was also filled with possibility. Humanity, once underestimated and dismissed, had become the galaxy's most powerful ally. And with their newfound strength, they would shape the future of the cosmos. The victory was theirs. But it was only the beginning.